Right friends, welcome back to 5th capsule. This is Ease of Doing Business States, and this was released by Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And please don't forget, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and Ease of Doing Business for States ranking is released for the second time, and this is released in association with the World Bank. And here Andhra Pradesh and Telangana topped this year's Ease of Doing Business rankings. They secured the same score. Then Gujarat is in third place. Then fourth and fifth places have gone to Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. And here one important aspect is the scores are given based on 340 parameters. There are 340 parameters and scores are given based on 340 parameters. And important parameters out of this 340 parameters I have given here. One is the single window clearances. How the states are giving clearances, that means the biggest problem is people have to move from pillar to post. In previous days, if anyone wants to establish an industry, then he has to get 20 types of clearances, 30 clearances, and he had to move from one office to other office. So the regulatory mechanism was quite cumbersome, and nowadays states are switching over to single window clearances. They need not move from one office to other office. So single window clearance is most important aspect. Second one is a dispute resolution mechanism. Then giving construction permits, and previous days this construction permits was the biggest hurdle, and now governments are simplifying it. Then tax reforms, labor and environmental reforms. Getting environmental clearances used to be the tough task, and now state governments are taking proactive steps as far as environmental clearances are concerned. Then access to information and transparency. Transparency is the most important aspect. So these 6 are important parameters. If you look at the 340-point business reform action plan, and here top 10 states and the scores I have given here. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana 98.78%, closely followed by Gujarat with 98.21%. And interesting aspect here is 12 states have scored more than 90% score. 12 states have scored more than 90%, and it appears that ground reality has not changed much. No doubt, states are taking proactive steps, but on the ground, still corruption is there. Transparency is the problem. But states vied with each other to make a tick mark for various parameters. That's why 12 states scored more than 90%. What I mean to convey is, in 340-point action plan, all is not well, not much changed at ground level, and there are certain aspects which are to be improved by the state governments. But one state vied with the other state, one state competed with the other state for making a tick mark as far as 340 parameters are concerned. That is clearly evident. The ground reality does not support the scores secured by various states. Various states got 90%, more than 90%, 12 states got more than 90%, but the ground reality is not that conducive. If that is the case, we will not be at 130 out of 190 countries as far as Ease of Doing Business Index as a country as a whole is concerned. Right? This is a classification based on the scores. Here, as I have already told you, the states which scored more than 90% are called leaders. From 70% to 90% aspiring leaders, 40% to 70% acceleration required, less than 40% jump start needed. And as I have already told you, 12 states are into top 90%. 12 states are into the top 90% score. So final comment is, states have done a lot, but the ground reality is not substantiating the state's claim of getting 80%, 90% as far as ease of doing business for states is concerned. Right friends, with this let us conclude this capsule. Have a nice day. Thank you.